Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial video on my YouTube channel. My name is Mr. Olo and this is Vic's tutorial. So in today's tutorial video, we'll be talking about the NNPC logo as you can see on my screen. So for those of us living in Nigeria, we get to know that NNPC of recent they just newly did a sort of rebrand for their logo and for the brand, as in they did a rebrand for the company, and the major rebrand was based on their logo. And as you can see on our screen, we can see the new logo that they have now. And a lot of creatives in Nigeria and a lot of designers have kind of talked about it. They've bashed it, and they've stated their own opinion. And I'm here to state my own opinion on the NNPC logo. That's yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right in. So as you can see on my screen, you can see the NNPC logo, and personally, from my own view of things, I would say I don't really find it. I don't really find the logo bad. Especially the logo mark. I don't really find it bad, though there are some inconsistencies that I feel need to be fixed. But however, I don't really think it's that important, especially this part. I get that this shifted a bit higher, leading to this, leading to this part getting also higher. But still, I just feel if it was, aligned together, maybe it wouldn't look too awkward. I'm just saying from my own perspective. So then the second thing is, I think in regards to the logo type, I'm not really digging the arrangement. I love the concept. I just don't get the execution. The execution wasn't done right, but I get the concept. So we're just going to fix this a little bit. Just do a lot of, I love another thing that I love the color scheme. They didn't really go out of the previous color scheme that they had before, because if you go online, we could get to see the previous NNPC logo, I guess. So we could, because I got this logo from the Twitter page. This one we're currently using. I scoured throughout the internet and I couldn't find the clear version of the new one. So this is the old one that they had, sort of. Yeah, this is the old one that they had, and you can see they didn't really go out of the color scheme. Okay, but just that I love the color scheme, and it really resonates well with the future of fossil fuels. Is it fuels or fuel? So anyway, I get the color scheme and all that. However, I just don't really dig the execution. So we're just going to fix some things right. So now, what we're going to do is that we're going to create a duplicate. Okay, and let's just reduce it. Do we need to reduce the duplicate? No, I'm going to bring this to this side, and I'm going to crop out the logo mark. Okay, because that is where we are going to first of all fix. Okay, I'm just going to crop out the logo mark, and then I'm just going to put out the middle, or just bring it down below a little bit, and then I'm going to transparent it to about 50. So I'm going to give it 50 transparency. Yeah, 50. So, and then I'm just going to lock it. I right click and I go over to lock and I lock it. Now, you can do this in Illustrator, the same pattern. There's nothing different. Okay, just follow the process. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my line 2 here, which is under the freehand. But for those of you using Adobe Illustrator, you get to find out in your shape 2, which is in the rectangle 2, your ellipse 2, and the rest of them. So I'm just going to go to my 2-point line, and then I'm just going to drag a straight line. Okay, and I'm going to also drag it this way to align properly with this one at this side. And I'm going to create a duplicate. So let me just elongate this a little. So then I'm going to group both of them, and I'm going to drag them to tally with this. I'm going to make a duplicate, and then I'm also going to make a duplicate. Okay, I'm going to copy, Ctrl C and Ctrl V to paste. And I'm going to tap this part, and then I'll rotate it so that it can align properly, so that I can place it here, because I need to make sure that everything is done right. So okay, let's rotate it a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm also going to take it and I'm going to make another duplicate for this other side. I'm going to make a duplicate, and there we go. So the next phase to take is now to deal with this line here. Okay, now this is the line that I'm talking about. I don't know if we should go with the same straight line, because I know probably the straight line, they try to make sure that these parts, okay, this triangle here and the triangle here are the same thing, while the triangle and the triangle are the same thing. So let's just go with another straight line, and I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to just draw a straight line like this. I'm going to elongate it down. So now the thing is, my contemplation now is, should I go with a straight line for all the rectangles, all the triangles, or should I create this one's own specifically made for this one? But all the same, just for the sake of this tutorial anyway, let's just go with this my method, just for the sake of the tutorial. Let's just go with this my method. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock this. And as usual, for those of us who know me about in this channel, I'm just going to create a duplicate. Okay, so now I'm going to lock this back, and then I'm going to start coloring. Sorry, I don't call it coloring, I call it vectorization. So let's start vectorizing. So I go back to my smart fill tool. Now for those of us using Illustrator, this is where your shape builder tool comes into play. Okay, and if you're using Illustrator, that means you have to first of all highlight everything before you start using your Illustrator. But in CorelDRAW, you don't really need to highlight all. Okay, you can just start vectorizing. You don't need to highlight anything. You can just start vectorizing from here. So I'll go over to my smart fill tool, and then for this part, which is a circle, or let's do it with the red first. So this is already specified to red. So I'm just going to give this red. Then I'll come over here. Okay, and then I'll change this to the yellow part. So I'll go to my color picker, and I'll go over to the yellow. And then I will work on this area. Okay. And then this is the other lighter green. So I'll come over to this part. I go over here and I choose this lighter green. Then I vectorize this part. Okay. Now don't zoom in so that you can be sure you've done every part. Same thing goes with this side. Now this is our red, and we haven't done that. I think we have to also work on that too. So we have to, yes, and that is covered. So now we have to work on this last part. So we go over here. I think the color is here, which is, I think that should be this. Then we work on this. Let's make sure we zoom in to, yes, and there we go. We are done. So the next thing we could just do is just select this, and this, and then we weld to make it one. Then we select this smaller part here. Okay. Select here, here, and here, and then we weld to make it one. And then we do the same for this part. And then we weld, and then we do the same for here and here, and then we weld. Now we have our logo mark, and we can just drag it out easily, and we can now delete this. Let's see if everything is in order. This part is still giving me issues. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I didn't weld that. Yes, I didn't weld that part together. Now we are good to go. Okay, and this part too. So you have to be very careful anyway. So now we are done. We just select and we put it aside, and then we can unlock this, select everything, and then we can delete this away. And we still have our duplicate, so we don't have to worry. So let's put this aside now. So now right here, we can group it and put it here. So now as you can see, we have our logo mark. Okay, as you can see, it's very beautiful. Now you can see that having had this line to fall in together, I've kind of given it this sort of, I don't know, it just gave it this feel like a 3D feel, like a 3D cubic feel, you know. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing anyway, but let's just go on. So now we have this, we have group, because the other thing is, if you try to weld, everything becomes one color. So you're not going to weld, you're just going to group it. That's just all you can do. So now we'll put this aside. So let's say this is the NNPC. So I don't really know the font they used here, but I'm assuming it looks like Montserrat. So let's just bring in Montserrat. So let's type in our NNPC. So NNPC. NNPC. So we go over here and we choose our Montserrat. Montserrat. You all know that Montserrat is a city too. It's not just the name of a font, it's also the name of a city. So let's say Montserrat. What the hell? Yo, so now let's go with the bold. Yeah, I think it's Montserrat they actually used. So we are correct. It's Montserrat. So now if you notice, something they did here which I liked or which I loved was they tried to make it equal, you know. They tried to give you this alignment, this kind of alignment feel. And I think I get the creativity here. However, I still say that the execution kind of lacked context. So I'm just going to try to make everything to be properly aligned. Okay. Maybe just give it this sort of middle alignment and then maybe enlarge this a little. Not too much, but something like this. I'm just saying. Let's put it together and see. Because you see, the thing here is, I get the fact that the logo mark needs to be pronounced and it needs to acquire the attention of the public or of the people. But you see, we already know as NNPC, but that doesn't mean you need to hide the name of the brand, okay? It doesn't mean you need to hide the name of the brand. You can still make the name of the brand pronounced while still getting your execution right. So now, the kerning is too much, okay? I think they just use the default kerning, which I wouldn't say is bad, but it's something that we need to work on. So now, the trick here is to get an appropriate kerning for your letter mark or for your logo type, or even for your word mark. I would say that you don't need to go too much to start drawing small lines and start, kerning them. Simple. All you just need to do is break the text apart with Ctrl K. That is if you're using CorelDRAW. Just break the text apart and maybe shift this a little bit inside. Maybe just shift it a bit. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. We'll get to see what we're doing. Then maybe you highlight all of them and you come over to your align and distribute, and then you just tap in your distribute space horizontally, and you get a proper kerning. As simple as that. You see, you get a proper kerning. If it is, if you're doing this in Figma, I think that is the part where you talk about tidy. You tidy up your stuff. Yeah. If you're doing this on Figma, that is the tidy up. So if you feel this kerning is not still cool for you, you can just shift it a little bit more. Then you highlight everything, and then you properly kern it again. And once you've gotten what you want, you can then group it back. As simple as that. Easy peasy. And then maybe you cannot bring in this energy for today, energy for tomorrow down here. So we're just going to type in energy for today, energy for today, energy for tomorrow. So there we go. We can reduce it. Okay, align it to the left properly, then drag it down, and then let's say we change the weight of this particular part. We are still coming with the arrangement anyway, so we can change the weight with this particular part. Let's say we're going with medium or semi-bold. Let's say semi-bold. Then we reduce the spacing. But personally, I'm not digging it to be down here, and even if it wants to be down here, I think it should be something like this. If at all it wants to be down there, it should be something like this. Let's just make it like this. I think this is better, and then we can make it this way, and then we can now properly position it this way. Then let's see. Okay, and there we go, and we are done. So what I'm doing that is, and we are done. I feel okay. Okay, they didn't use a complete black, so let's just make this a bit of gray. Okay, this is better. So I feel if probably the designer was able to maybe do something like this, maybe, just maybe, things would have been a lot better. Maybe, just maybe, if the designer had done something like this, probably things would have been a lot better, you get. So, just my opinion though. So let's try to put this and then draft out some boxes that we could use to work on the background colors. So let's just say something like this. So let's just say something like this. And then we create another one. And we select all of them. You can group them. Okay. So, or let's say preferably, let's just create what we use under our our power clip for those of us using CorelDRAW. So this is 297 by 210. That is for A4 landscape. Okay, so you can just drag this or just highlight everything, and then just power clip this in here. And then we can take all of these aside, and then bring this to the middle, and we can just enlarge it a bit. Don't worry, we'll get to see what I'm doing soon. Now let's bring this here. Shift page up. Now we can ungroup, and then now we can color this one white. Okay, let's ungroup everything too. So this can be here. We can take this here. Maybe we can give this the yellow color, and let's say red. I know it doesn't really make any sense, so let's say green. Nope. Trying to give it its own color. Okay, I think there was a color that they had before. Yeah, they had one color. Okay, so let me bring this. That color palette they used. So let me bring this in. So maybe I can just okay, so I can just give this color. Okay, and then but in this case, due to contrast, now this is something you need to note as a designer. Due to contrast, you can give this white if you want. Okay, because you need contrast in this area. So now I think for this we're done with this, and I think we should just keep it here. Let's not do past ourselves if it is in the Nigerian language. Let's not do more than ourselves. So I think this would be better. Okay, this would have made more sense, okay, than what they actually did here. This I know if you scale up a bit, you can't necessarily see this. I think same thing goes with this. So I think it would have been more proportional if it was maybe executed in this format, okay, than actually what they did here. You just made the logo mark overshadow the logo type, and I think one thing about logo design is you need to, give that boxy kind of feel. Like, gone are those days where you design a logo and you have to make it look like you have to make each entity separate from the other. I think gone are those days when we normally do logos like that, where you have to make each entity separate from the other. So I feel it is important that we try to give it this boxy look or this boxy feel, so that when people look at the logo, they will know that, okay, this goes with this, It is one body. It's not just, even if at all we want to separate it, to give it this boxy feel that, okay, everything goes together. But with what they have here, it makes it look like it's just so obvious that, okay, they deliberately, should I put it that way, that they deliberately wanted to just make the logo mark to outshine the logo type. I'm not saying that is bad. However, you're kind of giving your viewers this kind of view, like they have to view it separately, like they are different entities, like they're not serving the same purpose. Yes, the logo type is to illustrate probably the name of the brand, and your logo mark is to illustrate the identity or, that icon for the brand. However, you need to give it this boxy feeling that, okay, all of them go hand in hand. They're not just something you need to just separate and just leave it aside. So these are things you need to note as a designer. So don't just go into logo designing and so I would say, like I said, the logo mark isn't bad. Okay, if you can remember what I said the logo mark isn't bad, just the execution that I wasn't really okay with. So as you can see, if you put it side by side, you can really see the difference. Okay, you can see the difference. It's not like I'm saying mine is maybe they would have hired me to do theirs, but I'm just saying that it would have been better if things were more executed in this manner. And at least the line, and also they went for a regular typeface. Sorry, a regular font weight. I think they went for this. We went for the bold. They went for the semi-bold or the regular, but they went for the semi-bold, I guess. And that also kind of didn't bring out that boldness of the brand. It didn't give out that visibility, that proper visibility of the brand. Okay, so I'm not here to bash whoever did the logo. Like, the person did a good job. For example, like I will tell you that I dig the logo mark. I just didn't like the way it was executed, the arrangement of things, and how they had to place things as if, you know, they wanted to really show that NNPC did. No, you get my point. I get that the main rebrand is probably in the logo mark, but still, I don't think when MTN wanted to rebrand it, they focused on only the oval shape. They focused on everything about the logo. You know, they made everything to go hands in hand. You get my point. So if you want to rebrand, make sure that you don't just leave one part aside. Bring everything together. Give it that boxy feel. So anyway, yeah, we are done with the tutorial anyway. And if you love this tutorial video, please make sure to leave a like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. This will definitely help us to grow. Share this video with other creatives. And lastly, if there's something about the tutorial or if there's something about the logo that you feel that maybe you would have done better, please do let me know in the comment section, and I'll be glad to attend to you. Or maybe if you agree with my concepts, I'll also be glad to hear it from you. It's going to be delightful. Okay, so I'll be seeing you guys in my next tutorial video. And until the next time, stay safe and stay healthy. And if you want to improve your skills in graphic design, make sure to click on any of the video showing right on your screen. Namaste.